so we're going to be doing the upper extremity range of motion, shoulder exercises here. So for the first stretch we're going to be doing is the horizontal abduction extension number 1. So you're going to instruct the client, you're going to get right behind the client, you're going to have them sit in a chair or any sort of position where their back is supported. Zachlyn here is sitting over here. She's not leaning one way or another. She's nice and supported on that chair. So for the very first stretch, you're going to instruct the client to raise their hands up at their sides. What you're going to do is grab from behind them at their biceps. You do not want to grab at their elbows. Never want to grab any joint or apply any pressure at any joint. You want to go ahead and grab at their biceps. And what you want to do is have them horizontally abduct from this position. Get a nice stretch, holding for 1.5 to 2 seconds, then relaxing, pulling back, getting a nice stretch in their chest as well as their biceps and their anterior delt. Going back. There we go, and then relax. The next stretch is the horizontal abduction extension number 2. So this is basically a modification to the very first stretch in the protocol. So what you're going to do is you're going to instruct the client, if they're able to put their hands behind their head. If they're able to do this bilaterally, perfect. If not, let's assume maybe they're only able to do one at a time. We can do that as well. So the same thing, what you want to do for this stretch is you want to have the client sitting in the chair, the back nice and supported. You want to grab from behind them, their bicep right on their bicep and their elbow. You want to go ahead and use the other hand here to stabilize their opposite side. And what you want to do is bring that right shoulder, whichever side you're stretching, bring it back, facilitate that stretch, and back. Pulling it back, having them horizontally abduct, 1.5 to 2 seconds, and then back. Okay, so now for the next stretch is shoulder adduction, posterior oblique. I'm sorry. Okay, so for the third stretch, it is shoulder extension, shoulder hyperextension, palm outward. So what you can do is instruct the client to internally rotate or bring their palms basically out to their sides or thumbs down and away. What you want to do is stand behind the client. You want to grab over their biceps, again, never the elbows, grab over the biceps, and what you want to do is pull back at a very, very slow, controlled pace, and then back. Bringing the arms back as they're internally rotated, back. You want to feel that end range. Be very gentle, especially with the shoulder joints. You really want to see or instruct the clients and the caregivers to really, really be nice and gentle with every stretch involving the shoulder. The next stretch is the shoulder adduction posterior oblique. So it's basically, if you watch the third exercise or the third stretch in that protocol, you're going to instruct the client to internally rotate or bring their thumbs down, palms facing out from them. What you want to do is grab their bicep area, standing behind them. You're going to pull back as you would in that third stretch, but instead you're going to pull back and you're going to come in towards their midline. Okay, so one more time. Bring it back, the shoulders together, shoulder blades together towards midline, and then back. Back, toward midline, 1.5 to 2 seconds, and then back. All right, so the next one is the shoulder external rotation. So there are 3 different ways you can externally rotate the shoulder, and 3 ways that we teach in this protocol. So for the very first one, let's just do one hand here, one side. So what we're going to do is we instruct the client to bring their elbows up if they're able to. And what you want to do is have them bring their elbows slightly anterior to get into their scapular plane to prevent any further discomfort. What you want to do is support the elbow, support the upper arm, and grab their palmar side. And what you want to do is externally rotate. So you're going to go from this position, from starting position, bringing it back almost behind the plane, slightly behind the plane, and then back. Going from start to finish, start, finish. The second way you can have a client externally rotate would be them to having their elbows at their sides near their abdomen. And what you want to do is, again, support their upper arm, grab onto their hand here, the palmar side of their hand, and what you want to do is go from this position, bring it out, externally rotate, across the body, just like so. Going from start, bringing it out, finishing, holding 1.5 to 2 seconds, and then returning back to starting position. The third way you can externally rotate for your clients if their shoulder mobility prevents them from any sort of flexion, what you want to do is have their arms at their side, and for shoulder external rotation, what you want to do is instruct the client to go from palms facing away, looking at the camera, to palms facing towards the camera. So you're going to instruct the client to grab their tricep area, they grab right around the hand here, and then gently apply that rotation externally, going from palm away to palm facing. Okay? Palm away, palm facing. Okay, so the next stretch is the shoulder internal rotation, number 6. There are 2 ways we can internally rotate that we show here at the clinic, and that we instruct over a video here. So the first way, we're going to instruct the client, as we would an external rotation, bring that arm anterior, and what you want to do is to go from this position here, bring it down while you stabilize your upper arm, and while you hold on to their wrist as well. Not to the wrist, I'm sorry, to the palmar side of their hand. Coming down, getting that nice stretch, feeling the end range being very nice and gentle. 1.5 to 2 seconds, and relax. So the second way to internally rotate, what we're going to do as well, you're going to instruct the client to bring their arms out to at their sides. We're going to instruct the caregiver or the client themselves, if they're able to have their palm facing the camera, or facing the direction in which they are instructing. And what you want to do is, again, stabilize the upper arm, right around the tricep. You want to grab, again, right around the palmar side of the hand. And what you want to do is you want to have the palm facing towards the camera to start. And then as you complete the rotation internally, palm facing away. So palm facing away. Palm facing away.